Good afternoon, YouTube. It's your man, Already George Page, coming to you live on YouTube. As you know, I'm a big fan of comic books, comic movies, cartoons, all that. I used to collect comic books when I was younger. I got a collection still out there in the storage at my mama's house. But anyway, um, the MCU has been going pretty strong the last 15, 16 years. As you know, they have had a great collection of movies. But the one movie that really, I think was the example of what represented our culture was the Black Panther. And as you know, this was Black Panther is one of the most well-known superheroes in the Marvel universe. I'm more of a DC fan, but hey, that's other people. And it wasn't that long ago that we lost the star of the movie and the character who played the Black Panther, T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman. Now, Boseman was a great actor and a talent, and that role was just perfect for him. He played T'Challa just to the T. And there's a lot of feelings that as you know, that the Kevin Feige, who's the head over Marvel Studios in the MCU, has decided that they were going to cast T'Challa. We'll replace Chadwick Boseman out of respect and memory of the actor. But that's debate. I mean, if I see interviews with Chadwick Boseman, and like I said, he loved playing the Black Panther, and he understood this character was just not just formatted just for one actor, like any other superhero franchise. There have been plenty of actors that played certain characters like Superman, Batman. Then also look the James Bond series of actors that played that. And I think even though he is passed, I think the Marvel Studios should consider maybe recasting him. But as you know, their plans are that they already have a plan set up for the upcoming Black Panther 2 movie, and that is Latisha Wright, who plays Shuri in the first movie, will play the next Black Panther. As you know, Shuri is the daughter of T'Chaka, the king of Wakanda, and the sister to T'Challa. And also, she's considered one of the smartest people in Wakanda, not just Wakanda, but in the world. And I like the characters of T'Challa and Shuri, how well Chadwick and Letitia played off each other. You know, even that part when she's like picking on her shoes, says, "What are those?" And Letitia's young; she's 25 years old, and she's been acting for quite some time. I remember saw her on a TV show called Humans. It was about you know, androids, and she played a young girl who wanted to be an android. And as you follow the comics, you know that Shuri has been the Black Panther. She took the mantle one time when T'Challa was able to. He was so severely injured, or he was missing, that she had to step in. And this is fair because it's in the comics, like so many others. And I think some people, especially comic fans, will accept it, but some people don't. Will probably wouldn't accept the idea of a woman playing such a masculine male role that's been so been around for so long for such a long time. You remember as there was so much uproar about Captain Marvel, a few years ago. But as I said before, Shuri has been the Black Panther, and it's in the comics. And if you got it from the comics, it's a fair way to say. But should she hold the role for too long? I mean, this debate that maybe she just played like a small role as the Black Panther just for this second movie, and maybe it should go ahead and think about recasting another actor for the next movie, or even have him ready for in this movie too. But there's some actors I'm really think about that probably would make great who would be perfect for the role. Now this is just my opinion, my ideal. And anybody got a different idea? Anybody say something different? Please share in the comment section. Anyway, the first gentleman I'd like to mention that probably might be a good choice for Black Panther is um, Ashley Walters. Now, Ashley's 30 years old, and he's about the same age when Chadwick got cast as the role of T'Challa, the Black Panther. Now, he's from the UK, United Kingdom, And his career started out early as he's a rapper, songwriter, and an actor. And he was known by Asha D. Now, he started his role around 10 years old in the short-lived series Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. And he, in 2005, he played in the Curtis Jackson 50 Cent movie Get Rich and Die Trying. You remember that was the autobiography of 50 Cent, how he became a rapper and how he started, the 10 times he got shot. And he also was in a series. He was on another very popular series, one of the longest running TV series, which also had a range of different actors play the role, and that is Doctor Who. We had I grew up with Tom Baker. One of my favorites, David Tennant. There was Matt Smith, and now you have Doctor Who played by a woman, and that's also up to debate. Now, he's currently in the a series called Bulletproof, which is based about two partners who are cops in England. You know, and he's also co-creator of that show. But like I said, even though he probably would fit as the Black Panther, he has played he's played American roles like in Get Rich and Die Trying, and he probably can do a good possibly a good accent for the for Wakanda. But here's the rub right here: he's 5'9", and that's it. Because Chadwick was 6 foot, and the Black Panther has to be tall, and 5'9" is not too tall for an action star. Oh, there's some action stars that's been who are a little short, like Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Sly Stallone. I remember I heard people say Sly Stallone's actually 5'7", but he wears lift to make himself 5'9" or 5'10". But the thing is that the truth is that the Black Panther has to be a little taller. Now they probably can give him lifts, you know, but I think he's still an option. Now next up is a person that possibly might be a good, opportunity to be cast as the Black Panther, and that is John David Washington. Now John David is 36 years old. Now you know that John Davis is the eldest son of Denzel and Pauletta Washington, out of their 4 children. Now John David started his career playing football for Morehouse College, and then he was drafted by the St. Louis Rams back in 2006. But later they undrafted him. He was undrafted. He had a short-term contract with the Rams, and later he went on to play for the NFL Europe in 2007. Now his acting career goes back to 1992, where he was cast in Spike Lee's Malcolm X. And that's the movie that starred his dad, Denzel Washington as Malcolm X. And this is one of Spike Lee and Denzel have a long history together. Malcolm X, Mo Better Blues. He Got Game. It's just and John David, has a pretty good acting career. One of his more notable roles was a recurring role on the series HBO Ballers from 2015 and 2019. And he worked with The Rock. As you know, Rock is also going to be in a superhero movie coming up, Black Adam. Now, his breakout role was the movie Black Klansman with Spike Lee. Now, this is the second movie done with Spike Lee. So, Spike Lee is directing both father and son. Now, also, he did a movie last year called Tenet, which was directed by Chris Nolan. Chris Nolan, he directed the Batman trilogy with Christian Bale. And he also co-starred with the current new Batman, Robert Pattinson. But here's the thing is this is one thing I think people should think about it, that, John David and, Chadwick were close. As you know, Chadwick, it was Denzel that got Chadwick into acting. He started his career. And John David and Chadwick are kind of like real close, about like brothers. And I think this would be a good choice for somebody to step in as the Black Panther. But like again, here's the rub. He's also 5'9". And that is considerably short for the Black Panther. Now he could wear lifts, and make him a little taller, maybe to about 5'11", almost 6 feet. But also, people feel like that he got the role because of his father and his relationship with Chadwick Boseman. That idea of nepotism. But like I said, he's still a possible choice. Now, here's somebody that some people recognize, and this is Eldest Hodge. Now, Eldest is 34 years old. Now, his career started around in 1995 when he had a role in the movie Die Hard with a Vengeance, and he played one of Sam Jackson's nephews, if I remember that correctly. Now, he's also in movies like Big Mama's House. Um, you know, he voiced even he had a voice. He did a voiceover for the movie Happy Feet, and from 2008 to 2012, he played Hardison in the series Leverage. Now, you remember Leverage? You know, that's where you recognize him from. Now, 2015, he made one of his, I think probably one of his breakout roles was the movie Straight Outta Compton, where he played MC Ren, you know, which was the movie about the group NWA. Now, 2016, he did a couple more movies where he played in the Jack Reacher sequel with Tom Cruise, and also he was played in the movie Hidden Figures with Taraji P. Henson. Now he was cast as is currently he's playing in a movie along with which is called One Night in Miami, which is a Netflix. It's come on Netflix I think a while back, and it stars him where he plays Jim Brown along with a couple of actors who play Sam Cooke, Muhammad Ali, and Malcolm X. And it's about the story when the two actors, when these four men all met together in Miami. And that's one time I think Ali was about to fight, and his relationship with Malcolm X and Sam Cooke and Jim Brown, are trying to get a coalition together. As you know, Jim Brown years ago, along with several athletes, they sided with Muhammad Ali, covering about racial division in America. Now, one thing about Aldous is that Aldous is 6'1", and he's just an inch taller than Chadwick. He's 34, which means he's a little older, a lot younger than Chadwick. We got the role of Black Panther, which probably worked because he's a little younger. He can play the role a little longer, you know. But here's the rub, people, and it's always like this. He's already got a job, but not with the MCU, but the DCU, the DCEU, and he's going to be playing in the upcoming Black Adam movie along with Dwayne Johnson. It was, he's going to be the Black Adam, but his character is going to be Carla Hall, or I think I forget his Egyptian name was supposed to be the Hawkman. And I don't know why. I think Hawkman should be played by either a light-skinned actor or a Spanish actor or maybe a white actor. I think he would make a great maybe John Stewart, or or also like I said, he'd be perfect for Black Panther. Being he's 6'1", he's 34, he can probably put on a muscle. It'd be a great role for him. I've seen him on Leverage. He often played characters with certain accents, and if you work on his Wakandan accent, it'd be perfect. But like I said, if he's already contracted for Warner Brothers and DC and for the DC film, it's gonna be impossible to get him out of it unless they decide to change anything. It's been a long time since he's been working on that Black Panther film, that Black Adam film. I've seen that film in Dragon Feature the last 4 years. Anyway, next up here, this is Gary Carr. Gary is 34 years old. Now he's from the United Kingdom also, and his career started out in more like in stage, more like he had a Shakespearean background kind of way. Now his career was at the Art Educational School, from 2003 to 2005. Then in 2005 2008, he performed for the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Arts. So meaning that he has that background where he can probably do um, voices and characters pretty well. Now, he did a few short films in his career, and he starred in a few TV shows in the UK. Notably, he had a recurring role on the series Downton Abbey in 2013, and he played an um, Black American jazz musician. And I saw the episode. He's pretty good. Didn't know he was in the time. I didn't know he was British. I thought he was an American guy. Because they have one of the actors on there who plays the Duchess, and she's American. But he's done TV shows here in America. He had a recurring role in the series on HBO, The Deuce, and he has a connection with Chadwick. He starred in the movie 21 Bridges back in 2019, and it wasn't 21 Bridges. Maybe it was from what I see, it was a pretty good movie, but it didn't do as good in the box all the people wanted to see. Now, what makes him? This is what makes him. Like I say, he's 34, which is he's a little younger than Chadwick when he got the role of Black Panther, but he's 5'11". Now 5'11" is not too bad. It's not too tall, but it's not too short. maybe just putting like an inch lift in his shoes, you know, not gonna know the bitch. And plus, he has that stage. He has that stage background. He has that. He can play a voice like the Black Panther. He can play that role. He can switch from his English accent to American accent, and he probably, if with the right training, he can work and do a good, perfect Wakandan accent. He probably can even study some of Chadwick stuff from the movies. It's not that hard, It's basically he's British. He has a British accent. He can switch, and I think his theater background come in handy when it comes to that. Now I gotta ask you, some people are familiar with, and this is Miami, um, and might remember him from the series um, uh, Mike and Molly. Now Miami is 41 years old, and he was originally born in Norman, Oklahoma, but his parents are Nigerian. So that means that he can do a pretty good African accent, being that he's truly of African descent. Now he played basketball in college when he was younger, and then he went on to the New York University, and he graduated with a Master's of Fine Arts, and also he attended the Stella Adler Studio of Acting. Now his first role with TV was on the series Law and Order, the original Law and Order, and he did a few independent films, but most of you, like I say, remember from the series Mike and Molly as Samuel the waiter. Now he can, if you remember, he can do a pretty good African accent, being that his parents are from Nigeria. And I think with the right training, he can probably do uh, Wakanda accent. Now he's after Makamali was canceled, he was cast in the new series on CBS Access, The Good Fight, which is a spinoff of The Good Wife. And this is also good about him because he has been in comic book movies before. Now, not as a live action movie, but he has done the DC animated hero character John Jones, aka the Martian Manhunter, for the Death of Superman and the Reign of Superman back in 2018. And I think he can probably do that. I mean, if he can play the Martian Manhunter, it shouldn't be hard for him to do, especially if it was voiceover, it shouldn't be hard for him to do T'Challa. Now, like I said, he's 41 years old, which means he's a little bit older than Chadwick when he got the role. When Chadwick got the role of Black Panther, and he's 6'1", which makes him taller than Chadwick by an inch. And I think he probably can, if with the right training, with the proper diet, he's 41, but even at 41, that old saying, black don't crack. And I think he can probably, if with the right exercises, maybe with training, he can probably play Black Panther. His height is, like I say, he's 6'1". But I think some people may not take it seriously that remember him playing Samuel from Mike and Molly. You know, but like I said, being that he has that close background with being in comic book movies, and also that he's of African descent, you know, being from Nigeria, that would feel like it would make him perfect for the role for me. He can probably do a great Wakanda accent with the right training, and especially if you go, just get here, he can probably do without a lot of problem. Now, if you know, a while back, Walt Disney bought out 20th Century Fox. 20th Century Fox owned the rights to the X-Men franchise. And right now, MCU is trying to work in the mutants into the MCU. But if you know anything, if you found the comic books, Black Panther had a relationship with one of the X-Men that was Storm, as you know, Aurora Monroe. And Storm met they were young back in Africa, And they, if you follow the comic books, they later on got married. And they still have a relationship, even though they're no longer married. But if you do like this, if you do another movie, like a third movie, let's do a story of T'Challa as he's young. And I think about an actor who probably can play the role pretty good. That is Shamiq Moore. Now, if you know Shamiq, he's been around for quite some time. He's young, 25 years old. And that'd be great. He can play a teenager with T'Challa, which is only 25, and, that'd be a great role for him to play a young T'Challa. He can show like a flashback of how T'Challa and Storm met, his time before he became the Black Panther, and he's growing up and being the heir and prince of to the Wakandan throne. Now, Shamiq was he's his family. He's from originally from Atlanta, and his family is from Jamaica, which probably can probably do a pretty good Wakandan accent. Being from his Jamaican. If he takes that Jamaican accent, change a little bit, but twist to it. And when he started his career, he had done TV shows like Tyler Perry's House of Pain, A Joy for Noise, and he was on the short-lived sketch series The Incredible Crew. That was on Cartoon Network. Now, 2015, he's made his movie debut in the movie Dope. Dope was pretty good. It was a pretty good movie. And also, Moore is a rapper. He does reggae. He does hip hop. He has several singles. And he's also did a voiceover, and this is also good. This is also good, where he's also has a history with the MCU. Now he voiced Miles Morales for the Spider-Man animated movie Into the Spider-Verse. As you know, Sony and Disney have kind of a contract partnership with Spider-Man. He's already part of the MCU in a way, being that he voices Miles Morales for Into the Spider Verse, and when there's also supposed to be a sequel coming out. Now, in 2019, he played the character Raquan the Chef for the Hulu series, the Wu Tang, the American Saga. Like I said, he's young, 25 years old. He can play a teenage Wakanda, teenage T'Challa. T'Challa like about let's say 16, 17. And with the right proper training, he can probably do a good um, uh, uh, Wakanda accent. Being his family's from Jamaica, he can probably take his Jamaican family. Like he probably heard his parents talk with a Jamaican accent. And, and he might can do the role pretty good. He might can. I think I can see him playing a young T'Challa. You know, that'd be great. If you do a third Black Panther movie, you can start off with the story of how T'Challa he was coming up and how he went out in the world on his own and how he met Storm and and they had this relationship and later on they met when they're older, fell in love and got married. And I think that'd be great for the series. If we ever get like I said, right now the MCU is trying to work the X-Men into the MCU universe. Try to bring in mutants. There's always talk about trying to get Hugh Jackman to reprise his role as Wolverine. So, anyway, this is just some suggestions I have for some actors who probably be good for the role for to replace Chadwick Boseman. I think that's what we should do. I mean, I understand that. Here's the thing about Chadwick Boseman. If you really know this person as he was, and from his interviews I've seen, the stories I hear about him, he was just that great guy, and he understood that you couldn't just pigeonhole one actor for this role. Instead of again, there's been many actors who have played many different roles over the years of different characters, such as Batman, Superman, um, James Bond. As I mentioned earlier, Doctor Who. There's been serial actors that played several different those characters several different times, and Black Panther shouldn't be no different. You can if you can find the right actor and who can play the role and make it his own role. I think it's not gonna disrespect Chadwick's memory. It's gonna honor his memory. He was a great actor, and he was a great friend, a husband, a father, everything. And as it's being a fan of his character from the Black Panther, I watched the movie. It was a great movie. It's still a great movie, and it was one of those movies that really get Hollywood to pay attention to how much the black dollar was worth. But you can find the right actor. You don't have to play that version of T'Challa. He can make T'Challa his own. So, like I said, I think truthfully, in the memory of Chadwick Boseman, I think Walt Disney and Marvel Studios should really consider recasting the role. Now, no offense to Latisha Wright, she has the right to play the role because in the comics, Suri was the Black Panther, but I don't think she can play it for if they do another movie or if they continue with the character throughout the rest of the MCU. As you know, many of these Marvel movies often intersect with each other, like with Winter Soldier and how it crossed over, or with Civil War when you had Iron Man popped in, or with Infinity Wars and all these other movies, how they would interconnect every so often. So I think it's fair that that they should go ahead and consider recasting the role of Black Panther. And like I said, he's always going to be our king of Wakanda. Wakanda will forever, Chadwick Boseman. It's your man, George Page. All the rage. Like, don't subscribe. I'm out.